You were in an argument last week, and you were right. You know you were right. The logic was on your side. The facts were on your side. And you still lost the argument. Not because the other person out-reasoned you, but because somewhere in the middle of it, you stopped trying to be understood and started trying to win. You know the difference. You felt it happen. That moment, the shift from wanting resolution to wanting victory, is one of the clearest signs of a mind that has not yet finished growing up. And in America in 2026, where every platform is designed to reward being loudest and most certain, that shift happens faster than ever. Maturity of mind is not about age. That is the first thing most people get wrong. There are 40-year-olds running on the same psychological operating system they had at 19, and there are 26-year-olds who have quietly done something that most people never do. They have learned to observe themselves while they are happening. That second thing, that ability to watch your own mind in motion, that is where mature thinking actually begins. Psychologists call it metacognition, thinking about your thinking. Being able to step back from your own reaction in real time and ask, is this response actually mine, or is it just the first thing my nervous system produced? Most people never ask that question, not because they are stupid, because it is genuinely uncomfortable. It requires you to hold two things at once, your immediate feeling and the possibility that your immediate feeling might not be the whole story. That is harder than it sounds, especially right now. America in 2026 is not a culture that rewards sitting with complexity. It rewards fast takes, confident positions, the clean narrative, the shareable opinion. The algorithm does not amplify people who say, I am not sure, this is complicated, I need more time to think. It amplifies certainty, even when the certainty is wrong. And so the psychology of an immature mind, the mind that moves straight from feeling to conclusion without examining what happened in between, is being actively reinforced at scale. Millions of people getting more confident and less curious every single day. A mature mind moves differently. It does not move slower exactly, but it has a longer internal pause before the output, a beat of genuine inquiry before the response. Not performed humility, not strategic open-mindedness, real uncertainty, the kind that comes from actually knowing how many times your first instinct has been wrong. Here is the counterintuitive truth that most people miss. The mature mind is not the one with the most answers, it's the one most comfortable with not having them. Research in cognitive psychology consistently shows that the people most confident in their opinions are frequently the ones who have examined them the least. The Dunning-Kruger effect, the well-documented finding that low knowledge produces high confidence, is not just a cute internet concept. It is a description of the default state of the human mind under low reflection. The people who have genuinely thought the most about a topic are usually the ones most aware of how much they do not know, how many exceptions exist, how much context changes the answer. That awareness feels, from the outside, like uncertainty. And in a culture that punishes uncertainty, many mature thinkers learn to stay quiet. There is another sign that almost nobody talks about. A mature mind has stopped needing to be the most interesting person in the room. This sounds simple. It is not. The need to perform intelligence, to have the best observation, to land the cleverest response, this is extraordinarily common, and it is almost always rooted in something that has nothing to do with intelligence. It is rooted in insecurity, in the deep fear that if you are not actively demonstrating your value, you might be found to have none. A mind that has moved past that fear does something different in conversation. It gets genuinely curious about the other person, not as a technique, not because someone told it to be a good listener, but because it no longer needs the conversation to confirm its own worth. That shift from performing to being genuinely present is one of the rarest things in modern social life. And in 2026, where every social interaction has been partially colonized by the performance logic of social media, it is rarer than ever. Here is the last sign, the one that takes the longest to develop. A mature mind has learned to let people be wrong.
not in a passive, defeated way, not in a way that abandons honesty or truth, but in the recognition that not every incorrect belief requires your correction, that some battles are not yours to fight, that your peace of mind is not worth less than being right about something that will not matter in 6 months. This is not wisdom you can acquire by reading about it. It comes from enough cycles of watching yourself spend enormous emotional energy trying to change someone's mind and failing, and slowly learning where your actual influence ends. The mature mind is not the loudest in the room. It is not the most confident. It is not the one with the most followers or the most certain takes. It is the one that can sit in a difficult conversation and stay curious instead of defensive. The one that can be wrong without it feeling like a verdict on their entire worth as a person. The one that knows the difference between an opinion and an identity and has stopped confusing the two. In a culture that is moving faster toward noise and certainty every year, that kind of mind is becoming genuinely rare. The question worth sitting with is not whether you have a mature mind. It is which parts of your thinking you have never actually examined. The beliefs that feel so obviously true that questioning them has never occurred to you, because those are exactly the ones worth looking at.